This is a video for all of you who've played Ghosts and Goblins like me and have got really frustrated because you just can't get anywhere on it. So here's a few little tips and tricks to help you. So first of all, I'm playing this on MAME, and you notice I've got like 7 lives. Just to make it easier because I'm terrible at this and I need a lot of things to help me. So if you, in the version of MAME I have, if you press the tab button, you can go and select different options, and one of them is dip switches, and on that you can change various things. So for example, number of lives here, and you can change when you get the bonuses. You can also change it to easy, normal, or difficult. I found there's not a lot of difference between easy, normal, and difficult, but in any case, I like it easy because I just want to be able to make some progress on this game. Let's put it on normal because I don't see a lot of difference. So anyway, let's get back to the game. Now I've got it programmed so I've actually got auto fire, and that's another thing which you can do. If I just pause it for a second, there's a plugin option here, and you can actually add auto fire support to it. You can go and look through MAME to work out how to do that. I find particularly from level 2 onwards that can get really useful. So you may want to be a purist and not do it, and that's fine. But certainly that can be a really big help. So this is fairly simple. Don't get the fire thing. I personally think that fire thing is pretty useless. You may like it, you can pick it up, but for me it just doesn't work. So with this one, pretty much you just go kill the bird, and then go straight up, jump, and then kill him. And then you can just run across here and just kill things as normal. No problem. And then just drop down. This works well for me. Kill the bird. It's usually good to kill some of the things behind you because you've got the red monster coming up. Now, I'll just pause it for a second. The way that you kill this monster, at least the way that works for me, is as soon as you get him on the screen, is just when he's just on, he's resting there. So fire off as many shots as you can, and auto fire definitely helps with this. Then he'll jump into the air, just sit there, don't do anything. He'll eventually come back down, and he'll eventually march towards you on the ground. Now, if you fire at any point or move at any point, he will do something to evade, or could be a problem. He may even shoot you, but stay where you are, and just as he's very close to you, shoot him as fast as you can, and that will usually manage to kill him. And even if you lose a life, so I'll play it now, even if you lose a life like I've done now, that's fine. You won't lose a life for the rest of it because that's kind of the hardest bit of level 1. And it's better just to stay on this side until the group of 3 have gone. It's really a matter of working out the ordering of these. There are some that are high, some that are low. You just have to work out where the high ones are and then jump when you can. When it comes to the next bit, jump, kill, kill, turn around, kill, kill. And they always go in that order. Then for the next part, you always have to wait for the 3 to come across, then jump, and then just pretty much go as fast as you can. You have to go down and kill that green thing, and you can kill those if you want, but pretty much they stay behind you. When they go ahead of you, then they can drop things on you, so just move back a bit. Killing the end of level baddie for level 1 is actually pretty straightforward when you get into the right rhythm. He jumps up and down when he's a fair distance away from you. You just have to time your shooting so that when he's down, you're hitting him, and you stay a fair distance away from him. So as he comes towards you, you can move back a bit, but pretty much just shoot him. He will occasionally throw out bombs, fire things, whatever they are, but if you are sufficiently far away, you can see them and just duck and get out of the way. And this is why if you've lost one of your lives, you only got underclothes at this point, you shouldn't be able to die, and once you've defeated him, then you'll end up getting your clothes back, so you'll be back to full power. So if you just keep following those rules of just shooting when he's down, just stay sufficiently far away, but not too far because then he'll run towards you, and just keep doing that. Eventually you'll defeat him and you'll get the key. Level 2, you always get the same monster at the same time, so jump, crouch, and then shoot. And then what I do is I just go straight up 5 times, actually faster than the screen can go. And then you need to walk across, and there's a specific order that works, I find here, which is if you walk across and then jump, and then move across, wait, dodge those bullets, jump down, shoot, wait for that one below to disappear, and then jump, and then move across on the walking platform, and then make sure you jump again as you're doing that, and then that pretty much gets you through that level without any problems. You miss the money bags and things like that, but I'm going for actually making progress in the game rather than actually getting a lot of points. For the next part, you get a purple alien that's coming straight for you, so just shoot it as you would normally do. Then a couple from behind, turn around and shoot them, and then you'll get another 2. Again, shoot those as you can. That's not too complicated. Now when you jump over here, you're going to have these monsters which you have to shoot about 10 times. Auto fire is fantastic for this because if you use auto fire they won't move. If you don't use auto fire, then you won't be perfect in your shooting as fast as you can, so they will approach on you. And for most of these monsters, except for one, that doesn't really matter, but we'll get to the one that matters later on. The monsters above and below you will tend to follow your X direction, your left and right direction, so if you want them to move a certain direction, then you can go to the left or to the right. Now if you don't want to use auto fire, then this is a good ordering for killing the monsters. There's one you can get by just going through the wall there. Then you move up, kill this one, you may have to go backwards a little bit to get them. There's always a bird there. Then you go down here, then you have to go back because there's one of those monsters right down there which is almost impossible to get without auto fire, at least in my opinion. I've seen someone on a game do it, but I'm not that good. So, kill that one. I managed to lose my clothes doing it. And then once you've killed him, then there's no more monsters. You can go through that part without any problem. Now with auto fire, you can take a bit of more direct approach because these monsters aren't going to advance on you. You can pretty much just go straight and get them. You notice the bottom one I didn't even bother to get because I could go straight up and kill that monster. Now this one I didn't even bother luring, I can just go straight and kill him. Now this is the problem one, which without auto fire can be a real challenge. So what you want to do is you want to turn around and face as if you're going towards the right, because when you get down at the bottom of the ladder, you want to also be facing right so you can shoot the monster as fast as possible. Then you want to go down half the ladder and wait for the monster to go to the right, just go to the right so you're going to miss him, and then come down to the bottom of the ladder and then shoot as fast as possible. And with auto fire, that will work. If you're very good, you may also be able to do it without auto fire, but I'm not good enough to be able to do that. For the next part, there's these annoying red birds, and you can try going up on these ramps and shooting them. The alternate way is to go to the right of where the ground is, and then just move around to the left and to the right a little bit, and they will automatically fly. And then once they fly, you can just dodge them and then get out of the way. But this bit is relatively simple. You just really just go across and just be patient, time it. In some cases you don't even need to jump, you can actually just drop down. For the end of level 2, there's 2 of the baddies that were there at the end of level 1. The trick I found is to move very, very slowly until one of them appears right on the right hand side, and then he will jump over to the left and you can just tackle him without having to worry about the second one. And it's the same rinse and repeat that you did with level 1, which is just get the timing right so when he's down, shoot him as fast as possible and try and keep out of his way. He will advance slowly towards you, but if you're fast, he hopefully won't move too close to you, because the problem is if you have to move to the right, then you're going to incur the wrath of the second baddie, and then you're going to have to be fighting both of them. But the goal is to just take on the one on the left, and once that's defeated, then move on to the one on the right, and that's exactly the same as how you would have killed the other ones. And then you'll get the key. The start of level 3 might look scary, but it really isn't. There's a whole load of bats that drop down upon you. The best thing to do is just start going to the right. There's a few of those zombie things that come up from the ground, and make sure you kill those, but pretty much most of the bats aren't going to be a problem. Occasionally one or two of them might be a little bit low, in which case just be mindful of those and kill them, but then advance and go up the ladder, and then it's just a case of moving along, killing the zombie crawlers that are trying to get you, and then you get to this strange rock that tries to shoot at you. The best thing to do there is, again, just keep shooting it. When it's red, you can kill it. It will throw out some sort of balls to try and kill you. Just stay well back. Make sure you kill the zombies at the same time, and just keep shooting it. Avoid the balls. Sometimes there are two balls, in which case you can actually jump over those, but it's pretty much a case of staying fairly far back from it and just shooting it until it's dead. Once you've killed that, you go to the right, kill the bat, drop down, and then kill the stone thing on the right. There's one to the left, which if you move too far left, you'll end up incurring his wrath, so don't move too far to the left because you don't need to kill him. Once the one on the right's dead, then you can advance. The next bit is where it gets a little complicated, and you've got another one of these horrible red devil baddies to try and kill. So the solution I found is to keep running as fast as possible to the right, and he will follow you in a certain way, and then you can then just turn around when he's in a certain position and shoot him as fast as possible. That may not always be the case. There is times when he doesn't do that and he goes below you, in which case again you can go a little bit further, go back a bit, and then he should jump up into the right position and you can shoot him. You have to shoot him very fast, and this is where auto fire really helps. Once he's dead, then you move on to the next level. There'll be one of those floating things, which if you move left, you can shoot him. Then you move up to the next level, stay to the left of the next level, and there won't be any other of those floating things that will come to get you, other than one that comes at the top towards that rock thing. And if you get the ordering right, you can jump up, kill him, and then just keep shooting at that rock thing, and eventually it will disappear. Once that's done, then you've got another red devil baddie to try and get rid of. And there's a trick behind that. The trick is to get right up to the lower level and then jump onto the rock right at the last moment you can. So essentially you just end up on the top left-hand part of the rock right next to where the red devil is. And about 50% of the time, he'll just stay there and you can just shoot him. The other 50% of the time, he doesn't, and then you're on your own. But that's the best I've found so far. Once you have shot him, then you have to go to the right of this level, but then stop before you get to the end, because something will spawn. One of those floating things will spawn, and you have to kill that. If you just keep going to the right, it'll kill you. So kill the floating thing. Then what I found is there's two red devils, and the way that I found to pretty much just avoid them and not even bother killing them is to jump up the stairs as fast as possible, go up the ladder, then keep going to the right as fast as possible, jumping up, and then jumping off the platforms as fast as you can. And the red devil that's chasing you won't be able to get you. If you do it as fast as possible and you don't stop, then he won't kill you, and then you just drop down as far as you can. I've yet to discover a good way of defeating the end of level red devil baddie, so I mean this is one way that I did it, but yeah, good luck with that one. I think it's really just practice. And then right at the end you have this dragon, and again I don't really have a good way of defeating the dragon, just pretty much just keep going around and shooting him. Again, you know, the more practice you get, it's not actually that difficult a baddie to kill. So it's really just practice. So the more you do it, one thing I've found is save states are so good on MAME. You can save things to a certain point, then you just keep trying. And that just allows you to get practice on a certain part again and again and again to make it right. So it works well for me, and that's what I've been using to try and get better at this game. If you've played any platform game, you might think that level 3 would be quite easy, but these platforms are a devil. they're quite difficult to get from one to the other, particularly this one from 1 to 2. That's really the way that I can only really get it. Once you get from here, getting up on these platforms is relatively simple, but getting from the first platform to the second is a real devil, and once you get stuck it can be a real problem. So it's surprisingly infuriating, this part, and more because the game isn't the most friendly about trying to get you on and off these platforms. But once you're past that first platform, the rest of these are quite simple. This is a trick to get the red one. You turn, as you can see, what I did there, you jump off, go right next to it, and then as long as you land right next to it, you can turn and then fire as fast as you can. This bridge is relatively simple. You just keep walking. All these little sprites that come up, you can pretty much ignore, they won't do anything. The fire, you can pretty much ignore. Certainly for this first part, it's not going to do anything. Eventually you'll come across a red devil, and the trick to the red devil is pretty much what you did with level 1. As soon as you get onto the screen where you can just about see the red devil, you shoot him as much as you can. He pops up in the air, eventually he comes back down again, he starts coming towards you, and then when he's really close to you, that's when you shoot him and you'll be able to defeat him. Then you come across another dragon. This one's a little bit easier because what you can do is if you just go just the point where he's there, you can shoot a little bit of him, and particularly if he comes at the bottom like that, you can pretty much defeat him. That doesn't always happen, of course. Sometimes he pops up and you'll be battling like you normally battle him. And so on to level 4. Level 4, there's these little skulls on the ground that you have to shoot or else they'll pop up. There's this horrible little fireball that follows you, certainly if you go left as soon as possible, and you just have to make sure you jump over it. You can also duck, it doesn't really matter. When you climb up the ladder, that's when you get a lot of things attacking you, and it's really a case of learning how to deal with all of them. So it's really just practice to be able to handle all of those different things that come at you. You can either go straight up the ladder or you can go straight to the left. It doesn't really matter. Both of them take you a similar way with similar amount of peril. Eventually you'll keep going and you'll go up the ladders, and eventually there's another one of those red devils, which is actually relatively easy to handle. What you do is go up the ladder, stay still, wait for him to come straight for you, and fire as fast as possible, and that pretty much kills him every time. The rest of this level is fairly straightforward until you get to the baddie at the end, and I still haven't worked out how to get him. He's just way too complicated. But particularly with auto fire, again, these monsters are pretty easy to kill. And you notice I've picked up the dagger. The dagger I think is a bit faster than the spear, so I think I prefer it. But again, that may be subjective. But as you can see, it's fairly easy to get through. But I found that this route seems to be the most optimal for getting through the level as fast as possible and getting there with the minimum amount of peril. So I'll say thank you for watching. This is levels 1 to 4. If I can master anything beyond levels 1 to 4, I'll make another video showing any more progress that I've made. But I hope you appreciate the tips and tricks that I've put here for Ghosts and Goblins, and I hope it makes you a better player, and I hope one day I can defeat this baddie. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy my other videos.